Branding and logos are some of the toughest things to trust to AI, but I'm going to share with you how you can get 95 to maybe even 100% of the way there with a really, really good logo. Now, in the past, and even with first movers, I have always hired a human designer because I don't want to trust what could be a multi-million-dollar brand up to a machine. But now, with the machines getting better and better, and it all being about using the right tools, I think that you can combine the machines with a human designer and get amazing output. Let me show you what I mean. So you don't need a lot of tools. If you've been here in the labs, you know that that's kind of our ethos. Less is more. Use the leading models and use the best tools. And you'll never need 50 different tools. So the tools I'm going to share with you are ChatGPT, DALL-E. That's the image generator through ChatGPT. We're also going to use a custom GPT that is available in the GPT store called DALL-E Prompt Craft that will help you actually create the right type of prompt for your logo. And I'm also going to show you my favorite image generation tool, which is Flux. Usually I train what's called a Flux LoRa, but in this scenario, you don't have to do that. That's a little more advanced. That's another tutorial. In this scenario, you just need a good prompt and you need to tell it what you want to see. What I also like about Flux is that you can pick the image size that you want. You can choose a custom size. You can make it super high res, or you can just go for a square for now and then refine from there. So I'm going to share with you the difference. If you go to ChatGPT, the simplest way to use DALL-E is just to start a new chat with ChatGPT. And from there, you're going to click this little 3 dots and click picture. And it will instantly pull up DALL-E. This is on the Plus subscription. Now with Flux, what you're going to need to do is sign up through GitHub and add a few credits. It costs pennies per image, so it really doesn't cost much. The quickest way to find out how to do that is to type fluxlorafal.ai into Google, and you're going to see right away how to get to the model that I use, which is this one, Flux. You're going to need to use it through an AI playground, which is very simple. It's just a way to run a model. So once you sign up with GitHub, you're going to be able to come to Flux and you're going to see the screen. And this is where you're going to type in your prompt. Okay, so let me show you how to actually do this. So here's a logo that we generated with Flux for a business. This is 100% AI generated, absolutely beautiful. And here's the same prompt creating, put through ChatGPT, DALL-E, their image generator. So even ChatGPT, as good as it's getting, is still, DALL-E is not the best at images. And I'm surprised how far it's lagging behind, especially when you compare it with Flux. Like, this is so dialed in and beautiful, right? As compared to this. And that's why we say it's all about the right tools, right? If you have the right AI tools and you know how to use them, your life will change. But this is not a logo. I can't use that. It's not spelled correctly, right? That said, you can also try a better prompt, right? So if I go to the GPT store, this is available there. It's called DALL-E 3 Prompt Craft. And if I say, help me create a prompt for a logo for a supplement brand I'm going to sell, it will actually then ask you a lot of questions that a typical designer would ask, which is really cool. And once you answer those questions, then you're going to be able to get a lot more detailed with the prompt you give these AI tools. You can use that prompt in both Flux and DALL-E. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to pretend like I'm creating a new supplement brand. I'm using this custom GPT that I got from the GPT store. And if you're not aware of how to do that, let me actually show you how to do that. So from the home screen, over here, you're going to click Explore GPTs. That will get you to this screen. You can search and just type in DALL-E, and immediately you should see that prompt craft pop up. There it is, DALL-E 3 Prompt Craft, right? And then you just click Start Chat. That's how simple it is to use a custom GPT. All right, so going back to our thread with the DALL-E Prompt Craft. So it's asking me the name of the brand, the type of supplements we're selling, the style we want, colors, and then specific icons or symbols. So we're going to say, okay, the name is Vitamin Matrix Supplements. These are, let's say, nootropics. Style, we want minimalist and modern, but I also want natural and organic. So I'm going to say a blend of A and C. What colors? I'm going to say pick the most appropriate color for this type of offering. I want a brain incorporated into the design. There we go. All right, so once you answer that, then you're going to be able to get a great prompt. So with design, it really is all about the prompts. That's whether it's a visual, a moving image, video with Sora, it really comes down to your prompt. When it comes to text, we talk about training data being the most important thing. All right, so look at this. Now we have our prompt. So now what I'm going to do is take that prompt into DALL-E. So we're going to click the 3 dots, click picture, create. Okay. While that's running, I'm going to open up Flux and I'm going to put the same prompt in here. Create. All right, I'm going to leave the image size to square. Inference and guidance doesn't really matter because we're not training it on a set of existing imagery. All right, so we can leave it and how it is, default, and click run. Usually it takes anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, meh. Here's what ChatGPT came up with. Can you make this more, can you make this less crowded? So whenever you're creating a brand logo, really any brand asset, you want it to be simple and powerful. If you look at the top logos in the world, from Target to Walmart to Sam's Club to Dick's Sporting Goods, you name the logo. The best logos in the world are simple, simple, simple. So that's what you want. Okay, that's that's still so busy. And we're going to be in this loop with ChatGPT's DALL-E. Going to be hard to get out of. Wow. That's interesting. Make sure, we're going to add in this to our prompt. Make sure the words Vitamin Matrix are in the logo. So if you see something massive that's missing, which is that happens very often in visuals, you want to tell it exactly what it's missing. Hey, you didn't put the words in there. Are in the logo, and we're going to say and spelled correctly. All right, so now we can run it again and see what it comes up with. Whenever I have a version that I like, what I usually do is take it to a human designer and I say, hey, I've got this logo, it's almost there. Can you make it web friendly, high res, etc.? All right, so this is interesting. So it's not, we got this little interactive element. That's funny. It's not reading this correctly. So what we're going to do is trim this prompt down quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to cut off more than half of this prompt. Sometimes less is more with a more powerful tool. If you allow it and you open up room for creativity, better. It comes out much better. All right, so let's see. Featuring a brain. We're just going to say with a brain. All right, so we've dumbed down the language quite a lot to open up some creative room. Okay, that's very interesting. That's in the right direction. Look at this. We've got a heart in there and the brain and elements of the spine. That is not bad at all. So what I would do is run this a few more times, and we're probably going to get to an image that we really like, because now we've got a simpler prompt and it's guiding things correctly. If you still don't see what you like, cut out everything except the name of the brand and you telling it, please spell this correctly. With Flux, less can be more. So try that and see what happens. But you should get where you're wanting to go. This is by far one of the best image generators, and these image generators will get better and better. But Flux in particular for branding is definitely one of the best.